let's go back to the roots. Like why the decision to go into tech. Uh, and like you said, you have a computer science degree, from Redeemer's University. So did you always know you wanted to do tech? I mean, there are a couple of other things in the world, someone would want to do, maybe like a civil engineering, medicine, and et cetera, et cetera. But why tech? And did you always know you wanted to do it, or is there a story behind the choice?
There's definitely a story. I did not know I wanted to do tech. I mean, as a child growing up, when there was something spoiled in the house, I would like try
Hmm.
to fix it and all that. But I didn't have it in mind as a career. What I wanted to be at first
Hmm.
was like every little kid, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Wow.
And then my dad said, Choma, we don't have astronauts in Nigeria. Pick something else. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll be a doctor. I was going to be a doctor. Then there's something they do here in Nigeria where there's something called JAMB. So if you don't have like
Right.
really high scores in JAMB, you can't like get some courses. And that was what happened for me. I didn't have enough scores
Hmm.
to get into medicine. And my twin sister, I have a twin sister, she was going to another school for accounting. And my dad was like, there was no way Choma was going to stay at home and, her sister would go to school. So he said I should pick something else. And I said
Hmm.
I wanted to study mathematics. And then he asked me, okay, so when you're done, what do you want to be? I was pretty young, so like I didn't even have like a career path or anything. And I didn't know
Hmm.
what to say. Then he just advised me and said, you know what, there are more opportunities in tech. So just study computer science instead. And I listened
Mm.
to him, and that was how I studied computer science. And it was really easy to transition into like full time programming because I studied computer science. So yeah,
Wow.
that's the story.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. As a kid, we growing up, yeah, we all did that. We want to be everything. And that's interesting. You saying going from medicine, and then I want to, and sorry, astronaut, and then doctor, and then et cetera, et cetera. That's interesting. But what's interesting too is it's your dad that brought up the suggestion, right? Like he's the one
Yeah,
who suggested tech. That,
yeah,
that that is interesting because I've always thought. So, I mean, I'm Nigerian myself, and I've always thought that our parent generation, they are not familiar with tech or computer science was not something. It's not an area that their generation was familiar with or were familiar with, right? So, I mean, it's the options they'll always tell you as a lucrative or as a very good feel would be they will tell you civil engineering. They will say, okay, why not do medicine or do law? This is where the common professions that they will easily kind of point to. But tech was not something I thought a lot of parents would be familiar with. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay. uh,
yeah. I'm
yeah,
glad he pushed me in that direction, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's true. Interesting. So, I guess from hearing you talked about that you did it was web development. I hear that you said it was all web development that you started off doing. Then, how did iOS come into the picture, or how did mobile app development come into the picture? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Another story. So,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
okay, so when I got into Decagon, it was through a platform for female in tech. So I wrote the test and did the interview, passed, and then I got in. And the initial plan was I was going to study Node, so I would back up the front end development skills I already had. So I'd be like full stack.
Hmm.
But when I got in, we were told that there were only two courses available at the moment, Swift and Python. So we had to
Oh.
choose from either of them.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay. I asked a few people that were already experienced, and they advised I should go with Swift. They
Swift.
let me know that the market rate here in Nigeria for like developers that write Swift like is really the amount of developers available is
Hmm.
really low, and like they're in high demand. So they
Right.
advised me to go for Swift, and I ended up, picking Swift. So it was
Oh,
not like it was something I planned to do. I didn't even know that Swift was part of like the courses they had available. But it was just fate, I guess, because I just ended up picking Swift, and yeah, here I am.
and yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, and here you are, now the multi-million-dollar, developer, and we are here, your fans, just rooting for you.
Amen. Oh, amen.